Really glad you could all be here. My name is Chris Lee, and I actually serve here at Living Hope. And some of my friends, they call me Cly because it's the first initial of my name and then my last name. And so Chris or Cly, and just really glad to see all of you here. I know for a lot of you, you might be teachers in youth ministry. Maybe you're a youth pastor or director, or maybe you just have a heart for youth ministry as a whole. But I'm so glad for you guys to be here to our first Leaders Dialogue that is focused on youth. And what we're going to be doing today is a little bit unique in different ways, and so I just wanted to give us kind of a roadmap for what exactly is happening because we have never experienced this, and some of you guys might be curious, and so I just wanted to kind of walk us through what we're going to be doing, and right after this, we're going to start off, and we're going to try to do something, because we're in youth ministry, we're going to do something a little bit more techie, okay? And so we're going to do some interactive stuff where we're going to walk you through how to do this. Some of you guys are like still low tech, okay? I'm kind of there, but we're going to kind of walk you through. We're going to do like a survey, interactive live poll to kind of see where all of us are at because, you might be serving in a maybe Korean American context or KMEM or maybe Chinese church or just completely different than that. And we would love to get a gauge on not just how our church is doing, but actually just holistically where we're all at together. And so we're going to be doing some interactive portion, followed by a few micro talks by a few different pastors. And so if you don't know what a micro talk is, it's just like pretty much the intro of your sermon. Okay, it's like the first 10 minutes. And so we'll see if the speakers can actually stay within their time frame. It's going to be incredibly hard, but I'm really looking forward to that part. And so we're going to have 4 micro talks, just to encourage us, just to tackle some of the issues that a lot of people in youth ministry kind of deal with or struggle with. And so we're going to have that time. And because they're so short, we're going to have a Q&A for the 4 speakers. And so as you're listening, if there's a question maybe lingering in your mind about anything that they're talking about, maybe you could write that down, and then we'll have a Q&A right after that. And then after you get to ask the panelists a few questions, we actually want to open it up and give everyone here some time to continue to talk at their tables. I'm sure you guys have already begun doing so, just getting names and kind of seeing how everyone is doing, but kind of extending the conversation a little bit more. And so we'll do some table talk discussions there. And then we'll have someone actually give a bigger picture of what we're maybe trying to do, or maybe what God wants us to do. And so we'll share kind of our heart because I think there are some exciting things that are on the horizon, things that are possible for us to do, maybe collaboratively together, and so we'll do that. And then for your kind of like incentive to stay to the end, I know you guys got raffle tickets walking in, and so I don't know about you, I don't care what background you came from, but I think we all love free stuff, all right? And so we're gonna give away some books, we're gonna give away some Kindle like tablet stuff, and so if you guys stay till the end, we'll do the giveaways, and we'll try to run through all of that stuff, okay? But now what we're gonna be doing first, and we'll kind of walk you guys through this, I'm gonna introduce Pastor Kevin Yee from Church Every Day. He's gonna kind of lead us through this section. Could we give him a hand?
All right, guys. Again, thank you for being here. I need to give everyone instructions. And so normally in youth gatherings, we tell kids to put away their phones. But right now, I'm going to ask everyone to actually pull out your phone because you need your phone in order to participate with what we're doing right now. So we're going to be doing an interactive poll just to get a gauge on who's here, who's in the room, and a sense of sort of where we are in terms of Southern Californian Asian American youth ministries. And so these are the instructions. There's 2 ways to do this. One is, if your reception's really bad, I'm gonna ask you to text Sola Network 583 to 22333. But if you are paying a full-size cell phone network and you have good reception here, you can go to pollev.com on your mobile browser. That's actually the better way to do it, okay? If you absolutely don't have any reception or whatever, because you're maybe on Boost Mobile or something, you can go to Wi-Fi. There's a LHCC Public, okay? And we don't have that up here, but if you want to join the LHCC Public Network, that's capital W, welcome, the number 2, capital LHCC. No one's paying attention to me right now. They're just looking up there, trying to follow those instructions. But anyway, you can get on the Wi-Fi network that way. think everyone's on there. You should have a blank screen, basically, that says, like, ready for Sola Network stuff. Is that true? First question's already up? Okay. Don't answer anything on there yet, because that's just a test. Here's the real first question. We're actually going to do some demographic stuff first, so we'll go through this very quickly. So, all of your screens should have changed now, and you should have 4, right? You should have 4. So, go ahead and answer right now. I'm only going to give 10 seconds. So, are you full-time, part-time? Are you an unpaid director, meaning you oversee most of the ministry, or are you in here as a volunteer teacher? Maybe you came with your pastor. We just want to get a sense of who's inside the room. Yeah, so you'll see it constantly changing and shifting as we go. All right, I think everyone went ahead and answered here. If you haven't answered, or if you need help with your phone, look for someone super young and ask them how to help you out here. Not calling anyone out. Okay. All right, so this is good. So it looks like majority is full-time, part-time, but with more part-time than full-time, which is, I think, would be expected for a youth pastors gathering, youth workers gathering. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question. All right, so what is your ministry context? Are you serving in an immigrant church, multiple languages, first gen, second gen, third gen? Are you in an Asian American church, but it's primarily English speaking, so more second, third, fourth gen? And then are you in a multi-ethnic or a white church? All right. It's like a contest. Whichever tribe you're a part of, we're winning. But remember, 80% is not an Asian A. It's not very good. My parents wouldn't approve. All right, so okay, good. I think the response has stopped. Okay, so the majority of us, the majority of us are serving in an immigrant church context. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question. The current size of your youth ministry. The current size of your youth ministry. And by the way, all of this is anonymous. You don't have to feel shy about anything at all. We're not tracking you. We're not Facebook. We don't have the ability to do that. Mostly because we didn't pay for this. We're using the free version. All right, so there you go. Okay. Oh, it's actually a pretty decent spread. We have a lot of small groups, a lot of the bigger churches represented here as well. All right, I think we've slowed down a bit. Okay, I'm going to ask the next question. Some people are calculating how many people they have. Am I allowed to count former students? Bump up my numbers, There we go. Okay, all right, I'm moving on to the next question, and this is how long you've been serving as a youth worker. So whether, part-time, full-time, go ahead and answer this one. I'm very curious about this one. So we'll let you calculate in your head. All right, we're good. Okay. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit more interesting. We're going to be talking more about what it's like as a youth worker. So these are questions regarding sort of who you are as a youth ministry, how you feel, as a youth worker, and how you feel in youth ministry. Some of these are going to require some typing. Don't be too concerned about getting the spelling correct. That's okay. Just type fast and type furiously as you think of the things that come to mind. So this first question is, over the past 6 months, what are some of the words that describe how you feel about being in youth ministry? So just think, over the last 6 months, maybe even just the last couple months, what are your feelings towards youth ministry? Yeah, no, and again, it's anonymous, so every word you can possibly think of, the emotions that you felt over the last 6 months, just go ahead and type them in. This is going to be helpful, I think, for a lot of us. Fortnite, yeah, that's makes sense. So definitely among some of the positive ones, we've got excited, hopeful, encouraged, joyful. Tired, though, definitely seems to be right there alongside these other feelings. So we're excited, but we're tired. We're encouraged, but we're tired. That makes sense. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so in the last year, have you seriously contemplated quitting youth ministry? Is that something that's been on your mind? And some reasons here for the first 4. If your senior pastor's next to you, you can move seats. Yeah, just pretend you're going to the bathroom. When you come back in, don't go back to that seat. It's fine. We're okay. Okay, the next one actually is in regards to some struggles that we found have been kind of common among youth workers across the nation. And we're curious as to how much of this is what we feel here in our contexts here in SoCal. Oops. There we go. Okay, so do you struggle with any of the following? So loneliness, depression, you're overwhelmed, you're anxious, hidden sins, lack of accountability. I think the section with only the one answers have passed. So for this, you can add multiples. So things that you have been feeling. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next question, which is actually in regards to, as a youth worker, what are some things that you need to make your job easier? What are some things that you need to make your job better, to do your job better, sorry. So again, this is a word cloud, so just again, as many words as you can think of, you can just start putting them in. All right, we'll give this one 5 more seconds, see if it updates one more time. Okay. The next question actually is in regards to training. So, as a youth worker, what are the areas that you wish you had more training in? And again, this next question is also multiple. You can select as many as you like. So what areas do you wish you had more training in? All right, 5 more seconds, and then we'll move on to what areas do we wish volunteers had more training in? So we'll stop this one and we'll move on to the next one. So, what areas do you wish volunteers had more training in? And again, you can select as many as you'd like for this as well. Okay, so definitely on both of these, it looks like counseling is definitely something that seems to be heading towards the front. That's really, really interesting. Okay. All right, so that's regarding the youth worker now. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. And now we're going to attend to questions regarding our youth students. So these are things that you've been dealing with your students in your respective ministry. So what area do you struggle with the most in regards to youth parents? And again, multiple. You can select as many as you like. If you just want to put all 5 fingers down and just go ahead and push you can. Just kidding. Yeah, this is, I think, an area that we're very, very interested in learning about. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question, although it looks like we still got, some movement here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about trends with our students. And so this next one is, what are some words that you would use to describe this current generation of Asian American students? There we go. BTS, yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Okay, so these are the most alarming trends regarding youth students right now. So in the darkness for a little bit, some of the things that you see that you think are really worrying and alarming about this particular group of students that you have right now. 5 seconds. Okay. All right, so what do you think are the most encouraging trends that you see with your youth students right now? All right, the next one is in regards to where you struggle with in terms of connecting to your youth students. So, which area do you struggle with the most in regards to connecting with your youth students? All right, well, that concludes our polling. Thank you, everyone, for participating. The plan, and you'll hear a little bit more about this in the vision casting, but the plan is to actually take the answers that you've given and for us actually to ask you to kind of help us process this information. So we're going to be asking you guys to collaborate and for partnership on this. But hopefully, as the answers rolled by, you were able to learn a little bit as well and get a sense of how common some of the issues are in regards to our youth students and the things that they're going through in their ministries. But at this time, we're actually going to transition over into our micro talks. And so we're going to have an opportunity to cover 4 different topics with 4 different speakers.